The control freak. You're doing your job just fine, then boom, that coworker swoops in, pointing out something tiny that doesn't even matter. That's a control freak. They nitpick everything and never let anyone help. Ever. How to spot one. They act like their way is the only right way. They question your choices until you doubt yourself. They take over. Then complain no one helps. Their goal? They want control. It makes them feel safe. And it keeps you depending on them. What to do? Say, here's how I plan to handle this. Let me know if you see red flags. Say it with confidence. You're not asking for permission. Why it works? It stops interference early, shows you've thought it through, and still gives them a little space while you stay in charge. The favor stacker. You're wrapping up your work. When that coworker leans in, hey, quick favor, and in your innocence, you say yes. Next thing you know, you've spent hours fixing their mess. That's a favor stacker. They ask for tiny favors over and over until your day's gone. And somehow, you feel guilty for saying no. How to spot one. They start with, it'll just take a second. Then, oh, can you also just... And when you need help, poof, they're gone. Their goal? To sneak their work onto your plate without it looking like much. You get buried. They stay stress-free. What to do? Say, I can help for 10 minutes. After that, I need to get back to my stuff. Say it with confidence. You're setting a boundary, not being rude. Why it works? It protects your time, makes limits clear, and still shows you're a team player without being used. The spotlight thief. You put in the hours, the research, the late nights. Then right at the end, your favorite coworker swoops in with confidence. We worked so hard on this. You're furious because deep down, you know, you did the work. That's a spotlight thief. They barely helped, if at all. But when the credit's being handed out, they're front and center, soaking it up. How to spot one. They vanish during the work. Then magically reappear when the boss walks in and drop lines like, yeah, we've been on this all week, even if they haven't touched a thing. Their goal? Recognition without responsibility. They want praise without putting in the effort. What to do? Say, just so we're clear, I'll be leading this part. I handled the full prep. Say it with confidence. You're stating facts, not picking a fight. And always share progress updates publicly, in email or Slack, so your work is documented. Why it works? It locks in your credit before they try to take it. It sets the record straight, professionally, while you own what's yours. The victim player. You bring up a problem nicely. Then they sigh, look hurt, and say, why is everyone always blaming me? That's a victim player. Always the wronged party, never at fault. How to spot one. They twist feedback into a personal attack. They cry unfair the second they're held accountable. They make you feel guilty, even when they're the one who messed up. Their goal? To dodge responsibility and gain sympathy. Because if they're the victim, they never have to fix anything. What to do? Say, I'm not blaming. I'm explaining what needs to be done. Keep it calm, clear, and firm. No drama. Why it works? It blocks the guilt trap, sets boundaries, and keeps the focus on solutions, not their feelings. The Underminer. You're doing your job just fine. Then out of nowhere, that coworker casually drops a comment like, oh, is that how you're doing it? Suddenly, everyone's looking at you like you just made a huge mistake. That's an Underminer. They subtly question your competence, especially in front of others. How to spot one. They ask innocent questions that make you look unsure. They offer help you didn't ask for loudly. They frame your decisions as risky or naive. Their goal? To chip away at your credibility, They want to look smart by making you look unsure. What to do? Say, "I've got it covered, thanks. I'll loop you in if I need input." Say it with confidence, like you mean it. Or calmly ask, "Can you clarify what you mean by that?" Why it works. It reaffirms your authority, shuts down the performance, and forces them to either explain or back off. The boundary crosser. It's 11:47 p.m. Your phone dings. "Hey, quick question. Can you check this now?" That's a boundary crosser. They message late, expect instant replies, and magically find their way into every open slot on your calendar. How to spot one. They treat "do not disturb" like a suggestion. They send urgent messages at all hours. They assume your time is always available to them. Their goal? To blur the line between work and personal time until you have none. They want access. Constant access. What to do? Say, "I'll get to this during work hours." Or set an auto reply. "Available between 9 and 5, we'll respond then." Why it works. It trains them to respect your time, sets healthy limits, and reminds them your time is yours, not theirs. The bulldozer. You're mid-sentence in a meeting, then boom. That coworker jumps in, cuts you off, and steamrolls the entire conversation. That's a bulldozer. They interrupt, talk over people, and dismiss every idea that isn't their own. How to spot one. They cut people off mid-thought, constantly. They act like your input is a waste of time. They dominate discussions, then claim they're just being direct. Their goal? To control the conversation and the room. They want to be the loudest voice, so no one notices they're not listening. What to do? Say, "Let me finish my thought, then I'd love to hear yours." Say it clearly and firmly. Reclaim your space. Why it works. It sets a boundary in real time, calls out the behavior without a fight, and makes room for actual dialogue, not just their monologue. The complainer. You're moving forward, solving problems. Then that coworker shows up with a sigh and a laundry list of issues. That's a complainer. They constantly point out what's wrong, but never offer a single solution. How to spot one. They shoot down ideas, but never suggest better ones. They love saying, "This won't work," but vanish the second real work needs doing. Their negativity spreads faster than the actual problem. Their goal? To avoid responsibility. If they never commit to a solution, they can never be blamed when things go wrong. What to do? Say, "Got it, what would you suggest instead?" Or, "I hear the issue, can you help me fix it?" Why it works. It forces them to either contribute or quiet down. You shift the focus to action and stop their complaints from dragging everyone down.